Yo, welcome to another episode of the Old School Cannabis Talk with myself, Blue Skies, and Smoke Rich.
Yo, what's good?
Hey, Rich, I'm just pretty chilled over here. I've got some flowers that were sent to me by somebody on Instagram who's grown some cherry cola skunk haze, pineapple fuel skunk haze, and some classic skunk haze. And he's kindly sent me a few flowers to sample, which just prior to us starting to record now, I've had a few hits on. So the cherry cola was, I believe, we'll have to get some shots up later maybe, or you can check my Instagram for some photos. Blue Skies Vienna for life, and that's four with a number. Unfortunately, Blue Skies Vienna 4 went down recently. So on the 35th account, Blue Skies Vienna for life, where you can see some of these buds. So the cherry cola definitely had some cherry cola terps and nice frosty dense flowers. All three of them were in fact, and I enjoyed that. It's quite a mellowy haze type high. What I've noticed since smoking all of these since yesterday is the duration of the high, which we talk about frequently with the old school. Um, all three of these got haze genetics in them, so none of them are overly sedative, like an indica, but they're very calming. Like right now, I'm super chilled, feel very just chilled out. Uh, I probably sound a lot more chilled than fucking sometimes when I'm going off on things too. My favourite out of the three, I've got to say, because I like the pineapple fuel skunk haze. Got some pineapple, little nice fruity terps in the bong. Not smoked any in the joint yet. But my favourite of the three, I've got to say, is the classic skunk haze. Um, Strangely, with this one, it's started to take on a cheese, the Exodus cheese, the original cheese coming out of the UK. That particular cheese, the first one, not so much the seed versions, which are not really quite the same, any that I've come across anyway, but the original Exodus cheese, the potent, renowned cheese, it's actually took on a good portion of that terp profile. Let me take some out the jar here to have another smell. But yeah, it's got a really nice, pleasant cheese aroma, really thick, dense, resin covered buds, very sticky as well, despite being nicely dried. You might have heard it crack there. Mm. Yeah, it's quite strange to see because I've obviously run a lot of seeds in my time from Old Timer One Genetics. This is personally the first flower that I've come across out of that gene pool to smell like cheese. Because people often say, obviously people in America too, they often say, "Oh, is this skunk like cheese?" And up until now, I've always said no, it's nothing like cheese. Because to me, cheese obviously comes from skunk one, which is Sam's version of skunk, which is sweet, um, not foul like the original skunks, doesn't smell like the animal skunk spray or carcass. So to me, roadkill was to the original skunks what cheese is to skunk one, if you like. So I've always thought cheese is coming from the, being that sport version, that standout outlier that stank way more and very differently to skunk one. And my very ammoniated RKS, I think, to be like that version of the old nasty skunks. But anyhow, yeah, strangely enough, this classic skunk haze has got a very similar terp profile to the Exodus cheese, which I've not personally come across before. Generally, old timer one skunks are of the foul and nasty skunk spray and carcass variety. So yeah, all in all, very nice, long-lasting effects. What I like, I was mentioning to you earlier, Rich, is well, all the samples that I've had from other people sent to me and obviously all the samples I've grown and smoked myself, they've got, of Old Timer One genetics, they've got a very distinctive aspect to their how they make you feel when you smoke them. They all kind of hit you behind the eyes in a very noticeable way. Um, and yeah, this has done that. And yeah, they're really beautiful samples. So I'm grateful to the person who sent those in for me. I'm not sure if they want their name mentioned or not, but thank you to you. You know who you are. Definitely looking forward to trying more of the stuff you grow of mine in the future. And yeah, just basically reinforcing because me being in the UK, I don't grow anything in the UK because it's illegal now, just because it's just not really convenient at the moment, and I can never really do anything on the scale that I want to in the UK. So hence I'm leaving the UK in the next week or two to do some bigger projects out of the UK. Fucking lost my point a bit. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier with the difference in the effects. So I've been smoking, being in the UK, modern varieties because I've had to source. I've not been growing myself, so I've been smoking, modern varieties and extracts that people have been growing here in the UK. And it's just very noticeable every time I get some old school samples sent to me. Like the country club sent me some beautiful strawberry skunk haze rosin. It was just so much on a different level, on a much better level to anything of the modern era that I've been smoking since being back in the UK. Gary Payton, Mac One, all this cookies trash people fucking got. I'm not going to knock because it could be people listening to me now who sent me that stuff, and I can say with 100% truthfulness, they've grown it to a fucking excellent standard. They've grown it to its fullest potential, but its potential can never be as good as the old school because it just doesn't have it. It's lacking it in the genetics. So even though everything I've had off people has been of the highest quality in its production, it can't compete with the old school. It's just not there. And what do I mean by that? Let's be specific. As I'm smoking some old school now, and I've just very recently been smoking, the modern stuff. It's kind of soulless, the modern varieties. They're kind of very like a mono high or an incomplete high because they don't contain the full spectrum of cannabinoids and terpenes that the old school genetics that I've got have. They're just very one-dimensional, cardboardy, plastic, fucking soulless is what I most commonly refer it to, whereas the old school genetics that I've got here now, these pineapple fuel skunk haze, the classic skunk haze, they've got depth to them, they've got soul to them, they've got a complete balanced complex high. It's just different, it hits different, and you just notice it. You notice every time you're smoking some old timer one versus anything of the last 20 years. There's just a fucking noticeable difference in the high. It's just got so much more to it. And it's difficult to try and convey exactly what I mean to people who've never tried it. People that's just smoked rapper weed, for lack of a better expression, who've been told, these fucking rappers have got the greatest weed ever, and when they try it, they think that's the greatest weed ever. I can fucking 1,000,000% fucking guarantee you, Snoop is smoking mids compared to me right now. 1,000,000%. All of them guys are smoking fucking mids compared to this old timer one gear.
So you guys
So
gotta grow your own, man.
that is the only way you're going to find out. And people, you got to, I'm on my 35th account now, but people have seen over the years, everybody saying, this stuff is different. It's different, grows different, is different, and different in a better way. It's not my complete finished work available yet. This year I will be creating some more refined lines, but the gene pool that I've put out there, the genetic packages that I've made available to people should be taken and valued for what they are, and they have been, I must say, greatly appreciated by those growing them. But they are a new, distinct, subgenre of cannabis almost, in that this set of genetics has not been at all widely available ever until I released them. And yeah, people should just be happy that there's like some really new, interesting, even though it's old, it's new, but interesting and unique and different cannabis to experience and to incorporate into their own breeding now, you know. People, that's the main reason I put these genetics out, is to enable people to improve the gene pool as well. I can't do it as a one man, but I can do it by doing what I've done, which is put out 85,000 beans to date, hoping to quickly in the next month or so get rid of another 5 to 10,000, and then that will be the last of that particular gene pool that I brought to the world, really, before I then make my refined selections and creations from that gene pool. But yeah, I'm pleased with what I've accomplished, actually, as I look at these fucking gorgeous flowers in this jar that someone sent me, and to think of all the other people out there who have hit me up and said, you've changed my life with, or my relationship with cannabis. I've literally had people saying that, because they've just never experienced stuff that grows like this, and more importantly, has these effects. So yeah, I just definitely encourage everybody now to jump on board with the last 5,000 to 10,000 that I'm going to make available from this gene pool, and don't let it get lost again, basically, because all of these genetics are genetics that were essentially lost until I put them back out there. What did we end up with? Fucking cookies and gelato and fucking all the rest of this dog shit. So you've got the opportunity again now to start afresh, start with better, and create better, and fucking not lose it again. Anyway, I reckon I should leave it there on this little review of these buds that someone sent me, Rich, because I'll just meander on otherwise, because I'm quite fucking high.
Yeah, man. It's all good.
So yeah, what can I say? It's really a question of suck it and see. Try it for yourself.
Yeah, man.